Captain Ryan stood inside the silver ship as it slowly landed on the alien world of Valeria. The sky was purple, and the trees were tall with glowing blue leaves. Everything looked peaceful, almost like a dream. This was his first mission as the human ambassador of peace. His orders were simple: meet the Valerians, thank them for the alliance, and return home. The ship's door opened with a soft hiss. Ryan walked down the ramp, wearing his clean, white uniform and a friendly smile on his face. In front of him stood a group of Valerian slim beings with smooth skin that shimmered under the sun. They had large, round eyes and hair that looked like soft feathers. Their expressions were calm but curious. One of them stepped forward. She was different. Her feathers were soft pink, her eyes bright and wide. She looked younger than the others, but not a child. She tilted her head slightly, staring at Ryan's face. "My name is Ryan," he said, smiling politely. "It's an honor to meet you." He thought it was a normal greeting. But as soon as he smiled, the pink-feathered alien gasped and took a step back. Her cheeks turned a strange, glowing color Valerian, blushing, maybe. The others around her whispered. She took a step forward again, placing her hand on her chest. "I am ... Leary," she said softly. "Did you just propose bonding to me?" Ryan blinked. "Wait, what?" Leary nodded slowly, eyes full of wonder. "You showed your teeth in a friendly way. That is ... the sign. On Valeria, smiling is used only for choosing a mate." Ryan's smile faded. "Oh no, didn't mean that. In human culture, a smile is just being nice." But Leary didn't seem upset. In fact, she looked even more curious. "So, you show mating signs to everyone you meet?" Ryan coughed awkwardly. "No, it's not like that. It's just how we say hello. It's normal where I'm from." Leary stepped closer, her head tilted again. Then, "How do humans reproduce?" "You said smiling is not for that. So, how does it start?" Ryan's eyes widened. "That's a little personal, don't you think?" Leary looked confused. "But you smiled at me. Isn't that how it begins?" Behind them, the alien guards stared. Some of them pulled out small scrolls or devices, writing things down. One of them even gave a thumbs up, which Ryan wasn't sure meant "good job" or "you're in trouble." Ryan sighed. "Okay, look, I'll explain everything ... later. Can we just start with the tour?" Leary nodded quickly. "Yes, of course. I will be your guide. I want to learn everything about you." As they walked through the Valerian city, Ryan saw floating lights, crystal buildings, and creatures flying in the air like glowing butterflies. The place felt magical. I stayed close to him, asking questions nonstop. Do humans sing before mating? Do they offer food? Do they fight other mates for a partner? Ryan almost choked on his water. What? No, not usually. Some people give flowers or chocolate. She gasped. So sweet things are used to attract a partner. Fascinating. Ryan tried to change the topic. What do Valerians do when they like someone? Leary smiled gently. We press foreheads together and then say our truth. If the other says the same truth back, we become bonded for life. Ryan nodded, pretending to understand. Double quotes. Interesting. ... Ain't very romantic. But Leary's eyes sparkled. Would you like to try that? Ryan stopped walking. What? No, I don't think that's a good idea. I'm not even from here. Leary looked a bit disappointed, but then smiled again. It's okay. You're still learning. I will teach you. Ryan rubbed the back of his neck. This is going to be a long mission. Later that night, Ryan sat in the guest room given to him by the Valerian Council. He turned on his translator log and began speaking. Mission log. Day 1. I may have accidentally proposed to an alien. I smiled. And now she thinks we, single quotes, bonded. This culture is different in ways I wasn't trained for. But Leary is kind, curious, and sweet. I just need to explain human customs properly and avoid more misunderstandings. Hopefully. He paused, then added, also, she asked how humans reproduce. When I hesitated, she said, I quote, can. I tried to. I don't know what tomorrow will bring, but this mission just got way more complicated. Outside the room, Leary sat near the glowing plants, smiling to herself. Human reproduction, must be very complex, but I will learn. For science. She looked up at the sky and whispered, I like his smile. The next morning, Ryan woke up to a soft hum vibrating through the walls. It wasn't an alarm, at least not like the ones on Earth. This sound was gentle, like music sung by stars. He sat up, stretched, and checked his translator badge. Still working, still stuck. He walked outside and found Leary sitting cross-legged on a floating stone platform, her eyes closed, her hair glowing softly in the morning light. As soon as she saw him, her feathers perked up like a puppy wagging its tail. You've awakened, she said cheerfully. I thought you might have forgotten about me. Forgotten. I couldn't even if I tried, Ryan said, rubbing his temples. You ask more questions than an entire Earth's classroom. Leary's eyes sparkled. Then I'm learning well. They began walking toward the city center, where the Valerian Council had prepared a cultural exchange ceremony. Leary skipped beside him like a curious child, but her questions weren't childlike at all. Do humans have heat cycles like Rillians? She asked. Wait, what? No heat cycles. We don't do that. Then how do you know when to choose a mate? Ryan sighed. It's complicated. We date, we talk, spend time together, and then, feelings grow. Leary looked puzzled. But how do feelings grow without antenna signals or bonding pheromones? Ryan stopped. We don't have antennae or pheromone bonding. We just feel it, in here. Kay pointed to his chest. Leary blinked. The lungs. No, the heart. It's a symbol of love. She leaned forward, studying his chest closely. May I see it beat? Ryan backed up. No, it's not. Never mind. They arrived at the council hall, where many Valerians were waiting. Some holding glowing scrolls, others floating on chairs made of light. A large screen displayed Ryan's smile from the day before, zoomed in dramatically. Below it was the phrase, human mating ritual caught live. Ryan nearly fell over. What is this? Leary clapped her hands. The people were very moved by her smile. It has been viewed 200,000 times already. Oh my God, Ryan muttered. One of the council members, an elder with golden feathers, floated forward. Human Ryan, your display of affection toward Leary has brought hope to our kind. We believe you are now pre-bonded. Pre-bonded? Ryan asked. It is the stage before full life bonding, the elder said. Okay, it is rare and beautiful. You may begin the preparation rituals today. Ryan panicked. This is a misunderstanding. I wasn't flirting. I was just being friendly. Leary tilted her head. But wasn't that your mating signal? Ryan turned to her. No, Leary. Humans smile to be nice, not to mate. We don't do public bonding rituals after one smile. Leary looked crushed. So I'm not your chosen mate. Ryan rubbed his face. No way, Ty didn't say that either. I just, don't know you well yet. The elder raised a finger. Then the ritual of learning must begin. You shall live together for 3 cycles. If your hearts align at the end, you will be fully bonded. Ryan froze. Live, together. Leary's feathers fluffed up excitedly. Tayo, stay in my home. This is wonderful. I need to call Earth Command, Ryan mumbled. But Earth Command was silent. Valeria's energy field blocked all long-range signals. Ryan was truly on his own now. That evening, Ryan sat inside Leary's home. It was filled with soft lights, floating cushions, and strange fruit that glowed when touched. Leary handed him a steaming cup of pink liquid. It's called HFY, she said. It makes your brain warm. Ryan sniffed it. Smells like candy and pepper. ... Weird mix. Leary sat beside him, far too close. Do humans always wait this long to touch foreheads? Ryan coughed into his drink. We don't touch foreheads at all. That's not our thing. But how do you know when to start reproduction? She asked innocently. Ryan's eyes widened. Leary, we don't just start it. It's a process. Emotional, private. Oh, Leary said softly. I see. ... I'm sorry. I didn't mean to rush. Ryan looked at her. She wasn't trying to tease him. She genuinely didn't understand. Kaya's curiosity wasn't dirty, it was cultural. He sighed and smiled again. A real smile this time. It's okay. Let's learn together. I'll teach you human things, and you teach me Valerian things. Deal. Leary smiled back. Deal. But please show me again how your species dances when they feel love. Ryan blinked. Dances. She pulled out a holoscreen and played a video. It was a clip from an old Earth romance movie where a couple danced under the stars. You mean that? He asked. Yes, she said with wonder. Is that the final step before reproduction? Ryan leaned back and whispered to himself, this is going to be the weirdest love story in the galaxy. Ryan had only been living in Leary's house for 2 days, but already he felt like he was in a strange dream. Everything glowed, floated, or made soft humming sounds. Even the soap in the bathroom sang songs in Valerian language. Leary was curious about everything. She followed Ryan around, asking questions, watching him eat, sleep, and even brush his teeth. You clean your mouth with a stick? She asked, eyes wide. It's a toothbrush, Ryan explained, foam in his mouth. Keeps my teeth clean. Leary looked impressed. So, ... Clean teeth help with mating too. Ryan nearly spat out the toothpaste. No. Well, maybe. But that's not the point. Later that evening, Leary brought Ryan to a glowing garden outside the city. The air was filled with floating pollen that sparkled like stars. A stone table floated in the center of a circle, with soft grass and whispering trees all around. This is the Garden of Truth, Leary said, looking shy. This is where important things are shared. Ryan raised an eyebrow. Like secrets. Like feelings, she said. Leary walked toward the floating table and gently placed her forehead against it. The stone glowed a soft gold. I brought you here because I have a question, she said. But first, I must offer a truth. Ryan watched her carefully. She closed her eyes and whispered, I feel something new. I do not understand it, but I think it has something to do with you. The stone glowed brighter. Then she turned and looked at Ryan. Now it's your turn. You may touch the stone and share your truth. Ryan hesitated. Leary, I'm not sure. This is a good idea. I don't want to. Don't worry, she said sweetly. You can say anything. Even confusion is a truth. He nodded slowly and stepped forward. Okay, my truth is, I didn't plan to bond with anyone. I came here for peace, but I think I'm beginning to understand you, and that scares me a little. He gently placed his forehead on the stone. A flash of light shot into the sky. Ryan jumped back. What was that? Leary gasped. You shared truth while touching the sacred stone. That means the bond has started. No, wait. What? Bond? I didn't agree to anything. Leary looked at him with wide eyes. But you said you're beginning to understand me. Okay. And you touched the stone. That's the first ritual step. Ryan looked at the sky. A golden mark was now glowing in the air above the symbol. Neither of them could erase. Suddenly, soft music played from the trees. Flowers bloomed instantly. Doves, Ryan couldn't tell, flew in circles above him. Oh no, Ryan whispered. Did we just get half married? Back in the city, the council had already received a signal. A council elder turned to the others and announced, the human has begun the bonding process. The sacred light has spoken. Meanwhile, Ryan sat on the grass, his hands in his hair. This wasn't supposed to happen. I was just trying to be polite. Leary sat beside him quietly. You didn't want this? Ryan looked at her. Leary, it's not that I don't like you, okay? Just don't understand all of this. On Earth, we don't bond by touching stones. We don't even have talking plants. She nodded slowly. I understand. But for VELARINS ... emotions are action. When you share a real feeling while touching the stone, it becomes a bond. Ryan sighed. So what happens now? We wait, she said, for your final truth. After that, the bond becomes complete. Ryan looked up at the stars. I didn't sign up for this, but maybe the universe had other plans. Later that night, Ryan sat in his room, staring at the golden mark still glowing outside the window. He tapped his log recorder. Mission log, Day 3. Accidentally started an alien marriage ritual. No big deal. Just bonded my soul through a glowing space rock while talking about feelings. Leary seems happy. I'm confused. I didn't mean to hurt her, but I also didn't mean to say. Whatever I said, I think I'm in trouble. Outside his room, Leary stood quietly, listening. She smiled softly, holding a tiny flower that had bloomed in her hand during the ritual. He's not ready yet. She whispered to the flower, but he didn't run away either. That means something. As the night grew darker, the stars above, Valeria twinkled them, the golden symbol above. The garden glowed brighter. Captain Ryan stared at the glowing sky from his window. The golden symbol, the one that appeared when he touched the stone, was still there. It floated high above the garden, like a spotlight, calling out, "This human is taken." He felt trapped. This is crazy, Ryan whispered to himself. Can't get bonded to someone I barely know on an alien planet. By accident, he opened his log recorder. Mission log, Day 4. I need to get off this planet. It's not safe, not because they're dangerous, but because their kindness is too powerful. Leary means well, but she's from a world where emotions move faster than time. I don't belong here. Later that morning, Leary entered the room with a glowing fruit in her hands. For you, she said. It tastes like happiness. Ryan smiled politely and took the fruit, but he didn't eat it. I've been thinking, he said slowly. Maybe I should return to my ship, just for a little while. Leary blinked. Why? Is something wrong? No, Ryan lied. I just need ... space. Human hearts need time to breathe. Leary tilted her head. But we've already shared truths. We started the bond. We're supposed to spend more time together. Ryan stood up. And I didn't mean for that to happen, Leary. I didn't understand what I was doing. That's why I need to go. Leary looked down. Her feathers slowly lost their glow. You smiled. You shared your truth. Were those lies? No, they weren't lies, Ryan said gently, but they weren't promises either. That night, when the city lights dimmed, Ryan quietly made his way to the spaceport. He wore his uniform and carried a small pack. He told no one, not even Leary. He didn't want her to cry, but she was already awake, hidden among the tall, glowing plants. Leary watched him from a distance. Her heart felt heavy, but her mind was full of questions. Why? Is he leaving? Did I scare him? Did I love too fast? Ryan reached his ship and began the launch sequence. The engines hummed softly as the ground below glowed with blue light. His hand hovered over the start button. Then he heard a soft voice behind him. So, you were really going to leave without saying goodbye? Ryan turned. Leary stood at the edge of the ramp, Kay, holding the same glowing fruit from earlier. I didn't want to hurt you, Kay, Ryan said. You already did, she replied quietly. He walked down the ramp slowly. Leary, I didn't come here to bond. I was sent here to build peace, start a relationship. So I never asked you to love me, Leary said. I only asked to understand you, but instead, you ran away. Ryan looked down, ashamed. I was scared. Everything moved so fast. On Earth, bonding takes time, sometimes months, even years. Leary walked closer. Do you think I don't know fear? I was scared too. Scared that you'd reject me, scared that you'd laugh at our traditions. But I trusted you. Didn't mean to break that trust, Ryan said. Then why did you run? Leary asked, her voice shaking. Ryan looked into her eyes. For the first time, he saw something beyond curiosity. He saw sadness. Real, deep sadness. He took a breath, because I started feeling something I didn't expect. You asked questions. You made me laugh. You listened. And somewhere in that started to care. But I wasn't ready to accept it. Leary held out the fruit again. Then don't run. Stay. Learn. Let's walk slow if you need. I won't force the bond. Ryan took the fruit this time. I don't know what the future holds, he said. But maybe, I'm willing to try. Leary smiled softly. It's all I hoped for. The ship's engines powered down. They sat together under the glowing trees near the port. Ryan told her stories about Earth, coffee shops, movie nights, rainy afternoons. Leary listened with wonder, laughing and asking more questions. For the first time, Ryan didn't feel overwhelmed. He felt understood. The next day, the Valerian Council called for a meeting. Everyone expected Ryan to leave, but instead, he stood beside Leary, holding her hand gently, not as a bondmate, but as a friend trying to understand. I'm not ready to complete the bond, Ryan told them. But I don't want to leave either. I want to learn your ways slowly, like we do on Earth. The council nodded. To learn with honesty is the path of real peace. That night, Leary stood beside Ryan on the garden hill. She looked at the sky. You didn't choose the bond? She said. But I didn't reject you either, Ryan replied. Leary smiled. Then maybe one day, you'll smile again. Can mean it the Valerian way. Ryan chuckled. Maybe, but for now, let's just talk. And under the stars of two worlds, they began a new kind of bond, one built not by ritual, but by choice. The days passed slowly, but peacefully. Ryan and Leary spent more time together walking in glowing gardens, talking by moonlight, and sharing stories about their worlds. The bond between them wasn't forced anymore. It was growing gently, like a flower that blooms only when the time is right. But Ryan still had questions, many of them. He didn't understand how Valerian bonding worked. He didn't understand why Leary's emotions felt so deep, so fast. And he didn't know what would happen if he stayed too long. One evening, he visited the Valerian Science Dome, a place filled with glowing data walls, floating diagrams, and alien researchers with wide eyes and soft voices. A scientist named Vale greeted him. Human Ryan, you seek answers? Yes? Ryan nodded. I want to understand, not just about the bonding stone. I want to know about your biology, and about Leary. Vale led him to a round table where a crystal screen lit up diagrams of Valerian hearts, minds, and strange energy fields floated in the air. We Valerians do not bond through physical action first, Vale explained. We bond emotionally, mentally. Our feelings are not slow like yours. They connect like light touching water. Ryan frowned. So when Leary felt close to me, she already considered us bonded. Vale nodded. She shared her truth at the stone. That was her deepest expression. When you returned to truth, even if unsure, your hearts began sinking. But I didn't mean it that way, Ryan said. I didn't even know the rules. Intent is not always needed, Vale said. On Valeria, feelings speak louder than customs. Ryan sat back, thinking, that explains the bond. But what about Leary herself? She seems, different. She's curious, emotional, bold, more than others. Vale smiled softly. Leary is different. She is a Lumaria, rare type of Valerian. Her kind are born once in 1,000 cycles. They bond not only by emotion, but by empathy. Empathy? Ryan asked. Yes, Vale said. They feel what others feel, deeply. If you are happy, she glows. If you're sad, she dims. That's why your confusion hurts her, even if you don't speak it. Ryan looked shocked. So every time I felt nervous, unsure, she felt that too. Exactly, Vale nodded. She does not read your mind, but her heart copies your waves. Ryan stood up slowly. I need to talk to her, he found. Leary, sitting near the small waterfall outside the city. Her feathers were dim, and she looked tired. Not sick, just drained. I've been looking for you, Ryan said gently. Leary smiled weakly. I knew you would come. Your thoughts felt heavy today. Ryan sat beside her. Leary, I learned something about you, about what you are. She nodded. You saw the truth. Yes, Ryan said. You feel what I feel? All this time, you were carrying my confusion with you, even when I said nothing. Leary looked down. I tried not to show it. I didn't want you to feel guilty. I should feel something, Ryan said. I made you believe we were close. Then I ran away, and the whole time your heart was echoing mine. Leary didn't speak. I want to be honest now, Ryan continued. I don't know what will happen between us. I don't know if we'll complete the bond, but I do know this sure. Feelings are real, and so is my respect for you. Her feathers glowed a little. You don't need to love me yet. Just understanding me, is enough. They sat quietly together. No big speeches, no glowing stones. It's just silence, filled with something stronger than words. Later that night, Ryan recorded another log. Mission log. Day 8. I found out Leary is a Lumori. She feels my emotions, copies them. That explains so much. I feel bad for putting her through emotional storms she didn't deserve. But I'm trying now, trying to be present, honest. Maybe that's how peace really begins. Not through treaties or speeches, but by understanding the heart of someone completely different. The next day, Ryan met with the council again. I want to stay longer, he told them. Not as a bonded partner, not as a hero, just as a student. I want to learn your ways, and hers. The elders exchanged smiles. Then you are ready to begin the second step of Valerian trust, sharing spirit. Leary watched from the side, eyes wide. Ryan turned to her. I don't know what sharing spirit means, but if it helps me know you better, I'll do it. She smiled brightly now, her feathers glowing like sunlight. It means you'll see me, not just with your eyes, but with your heart. Ryan smiled back, for real this time. Then let's take that step, together. Sky above Valeria turned silver. A soft wind blew across the crystal fields as floating lights began to gather in the sky. It was the day of the ceremony of choice in ancient Valerian tradition, where one chooses a life partner in front of the entire community. Ryan stood at the edge of the glowing arena, his heart beating faster than ever. Hundreds of Valerians, floated around the circular platform, watching in silence. Music played from trees. Flowers opened their petals in sync with the rhythm. Even the clouds moved slowly, as if the sky itself was waiting. Leary stood in the center of the circle, dressed in soft robes that shimmered like water. Her feathers glowed with gold and soft pink, and her eyes searched the crowd. She looked beautiful, but also nervous. Ryan watched her closely, his hands clenched behind his back. He had spent the last few days understanding her world, her feelings, and her bond. But he still wasn't sure what this ceremony meant for him. Next to him, Vale whispered, "She can choose anyone. But once she chooses, the bond becomes unbreakable." Ryan nodded, slowly. "And if she doesn't choose, she walks alone for life," Vale said. "There is no second chance." Ryan's throat went dry. A council elder floated into the center. Beside Leary, he raised a glowing staff and said loudly, "Valeria watches with open heart. Today, our Lumari daughter, Leary, will speak her truth and make her choice." The crowd hummed in agreement. Liri stepped forward. She took a deep breath. "When I was younger, I believed bonding was simple. You smile, you speak, you connect. I thought feelings came fast, ... like lightning." She glanced at Ryan. "But then I met a human. He smiled, but not to bond. He spoke, but with confusion. He connected, but slowly. I didn't understand his way, but I wanted to." The crowd stayed silent. I continued. "He didn't know I was a Lumari. He didn't know that every time he hesitated, I felt it in my heart. But still, ... he stayed, even when he was scared." Tears sparkled in her eyes now, and that taught me something. Love doesn't have to come fast. Sometimes, love is a choice you make again and again, slowly, carefully, truly. Ryan's chest tightened. The elder asked, "And now, daughter of light, who do you choose to walk beside you for the rest of your path?" Leary closed her eyes. For a moment, it felt like the whole world had stopped breathing. Then she opened them and looked directly at Ryan. Everyone turned toward him. Ryan's heart pounded. But Leary didn't speak yet. She smiled sadly. "I choose ... no one." Gasps echoed across the field. Even Ryan looked shocked. "I choose no one, lest they choose." "Me too," Leary said, louder now. "I don't want a silent bond. I don't want a forced connection, okay? I want someone who walks beside me because he wants to." The elder paused, confused. "This is not the usual way." Leary stood tall. "Then maybe it's time to make a new way." Everyone turned to Ryan. He stood frozen for a second, then slowly stepped forward. He walked into the circle and stopped in front of her. "You're right," he said. "You deserve someone who chooses you not out of duty or by accident, but from the heart." He took her hands gently. Ryan looked around at the crowd, then back at Leary. "And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm not ready for forever, Leary, but I'm ready for today. And I want to choose you today, every day." Leary's feathers glowed brightly, warmer than ever before. She whispered, "Then we begin." Together, they pressed their foreheads lightly and closed their eyes. The glowing symbol above them turned into two shapes, slowly wrapping around each other like twin stars. The elder raised his staff. "Let it be known, a new path has begun." The first shared choice between human and Valerian. Cheers erupted. The sky burst into lights. The music grew louder. And petals fell from the sky like soft rain. Ryan and Leary stood in the middle, not as strangers, not yet lovers, but as two beings who chose to walk a path together, side by side, with time, with truth, with trust. Later that night, as they sat near the glowing lake, Ryan turned to her. "You really scared me today, Larry," smiled playfully. "I wanted you to choose me. not just follow tradition. Ryan chuckled. You really are something else. And you, she said softly, are the slowest bonding human in the galaxy. He smiled. But maybe it's the best match for the most patient alien. Kia. They laughed together under the stars. No rituals, no rules, just the hearts finally beating in rhythm. Days passed after the ceremony of choice, but the memory still lived in every heart on Valeria. The first time in history, a human and a Valerian had shared a bond not through ancient rituals. Not by mistake, but by choice. Ryan and Leary walked through the quiet gardens at night, the soft lights of glowing flowers lighting their path. The air was cool and calm, but their hearts were warm and full. Leary stopped near the same stone where they had once accidentally started their bond. This place, she whispered. It still remembers. Ryan smiled gently. So do I. Hey. She looked at him with soft eyes. Back then, you didn't understand me. But you stayed. I was confused, Ryan said, but something inside me always pulled me toward you, even when I was scared. Leary stepped closer. And now, Ryan took her hand. Now, ... I understand why. He had learned her world, her language, her emotions. She had learned patience, human doubt, and Earth's strange ways, like dancing under the stars and saying, I love you without needing to bond first. But tonight, something was different. Leary placed her hand over her heart. Ryan, do you know what it means when a Lumrai offers her core name? He blinked. Core name? She nodded. It's the deepest name. It's the one we're born with, but only say once in our life to the one we fully trust. Ryan's eyes widened. And you're going to tell me? If you're ready? She whispered. Ryan nodded slowly. I am. Leary leaned forward, touched her forehead to his, and whispered softly, my core name is Elinari. The trees around them lit up like fireflies. The wind whispered her name. It was as if the world itself had paused to listen. Ryan swallowed, the lump in his throat. It's beautiful. Leary smiled. It's yours now. Then, to her surprise, Ryan stepped back, took a deep breath, and placed his hand over his own heart. Double quotes, L-I-R-I ... No, Elunar, I don't have a core name like yours, but I have something else. He took out a small silver ring from his pocket. It wasn't made of Valerian crystal or bonded stone. Just a simple human ring, one he had kept from Earth as a symbol of home. In my world, Ryan said, we offer this when our heart makes a promise, not just a bond. A life. Leary gasped softly. You're choosing me? He stepped forward and gently slid the ring on her finger. I choose you. It's not because of a mistake. It's not because of a ceremony. But because ... I can't imagine not walking beside you. Leary's feathers glowed brighter than ever. Her whole body shimmered with light, and tiny orbs floated around her like stars. You chose me, she whispered, almost afraid to believe it. Ryan touched her cheek gently. Yes, and if you'll have me ... then I'm yours, okay? She rapped, her arms around him, and closed her eyes. Then I am yours too. Above them, the golden bond symbol in the sky reappeared, but this time it split into two halves, then slowly merged into one. It wasn't just Valerian light, okay? It was touched by Earth's spirit, by human love and shared trust. The next day, Valaria celebrated like never before. The first human Valerian couple walked the crystal path. Not as an example, not as a legend, but as a promised two different hearts, choosing each other every day. Earth sent a message to the council. We approve peaceful union and cultural exchange. Let love grow between stars. And from that day on, a new chapter began, one not written by war, science, or power, but by simple words, soft touches. and choices made from the heart. That evening, sitting under the twin moons, Ryan looked at her and smiled. "Still want to learn how humans reproduce?" Leary giggled. "Only after more dancing and chocolate. One step at a time." Ryan laughed. "Deal." They sat in silence, watching the stars slowly move. In a universe full of unknown things, they had found something rare and real. Not fate, not destiny, just choice.